Cool. Yeah, no, it's the mid-6, 7.0. I think it's a pretty perfect board for me. Just been here for a week, and it'll probably get me into any kind of waves I can see on the forecast, which would be fun. Yeah, we just do that in the Thunderbolt Red construction. We obviously looked at the option with the Thunderbolt Black, and I did try it. But just being a mid-length, the Thunderbolt Reds are plenty stiff enough construction for a shorter board or a mid-length. So just didn't really find there was necessarily a need for Thunderbolt Black with that. Whereas a 9-foot board, there's so much board to bend there. Whereas a Thunderbolt Black, that's kind of a good amount of flex for that for punchy waves. But yeah, the Thunderbolt Red in this is plenty stiff enough for.
People ask why. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and just like more often than not, especially I'm more thinking getting people into waves. Maybe roof high faces down to like grovelly waves is what it's mostly made for. And yeah, in those kinds of waves, a lot of the time you're doing the pushing, and like having a Thunderbolt Red flex is really nice in those shorter lengths, in the mid lengths. Yeah. So
when do you take this board out?
I mean, this board is kind of like the equivalent to a standard shortboard. So you can make a good performance standard shortboard work in waist high waves, thigh high waves if it's got a little bit of push into sort of triple overhead faces or whatever you would normally paddle into on a good standard shortboard. But obviously this will get you into a bigger wave being a bit longer. But those style of waves is what I find the mid-6 is best for. Yeah, I think it's sweet spots like head high to double overhead, in fat to any kind of hollowness, slabby beach breaks, whatever, point breaks. It's just a really good all-rounder. Like a standard shortboard, it's just well-rounded. It's not a gun. It's not a groveler. It's just a really good all-rounder. Yeah.
So, what made you decide to put channels onto the board?
For the longest time, I really wanted to try channels. Billy, he was always hard to get. When he was making boards start to finish for me, he's just like, I'm not putting those bloody things in there for you. But I finally convinced him to, and right around the time we started working on this model, just the slightly better wave version of the Mo. The Mo and the mid-6 are actually based off the same rocker and same board.
Oh.
So they're really the same bottom shape, same rocker, although we did just flip the tip on the mid-6 a little bit more than the Mo. But the overall concept of the board's basically the same. It's just the plan shape's more pulled in, and we just added the channels just for that bit of extra squirt. Yeah, so when you push hard, those channels really sort of engage and give you that bit of extra drive.
Yeah. What about windy, choppy days?
I don't have a problem with it. I know that's always been the stereotype for channel bottoms, is like they go insane in clean waves, but I ride it in all kinds of onshore junk, and I just can't really fault it. I think a lot of the times maybe channels get put in like really more gunny style boards. So I think when it gets bumpy, lots of little curves in the wave, maybe it's more the plan shape is the issue. So maybe, I don't know, but for me, I haven't found the channels to be an issue. And the way Billy's put them into, he didn't run them deep right out the tail. They actually taper off quite a lot at the pod, so it's still got that freedom to break rail to rail quite easy. So it's just a really well balanced, easy to surf board. Yeah, pretty much.
So do you ride it as a quad or a thruster?
After Kevin Schultz posted those videos riding it as a thruster, he got me very curious, and I put some time in on it as a thruster, and I really did enjoy it. And I could definitely release the tail a little easier and stuff like that. But yeah, 99% of the time.
Was ripping
I know.
But trippy.
For me, the quad's the go. I just put the reactor medium rears, which are quite an upright rear. So for me, they're plenty free enough. I can still release when I want it to. But yeah, just that speed and drive with the quads. That's the way I like to surf. So it's just I can't get off quads most of the time. So yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No worries.